I get it. July sneaks up fast. You blink and suddenly you're staring at an empty garden bed, wondering if the season has passed you by. It feels like all the best planting windows have closed, and you're left thinking it's too late to grow anything worthwhile. But here's the truth. July is not the end. In fact, with the right picks and a little timing strategy, it's just the beginning of a productive late-season garden. This guide is for every gardener who missed the spring rush, or had early crops fail and still wants a shot at fresh, homegrown food. I've had seasons where June heat scorched everything, and July felt like a gardening graveyard. But once I figured out which vegetables actually thrive when planted midsummer, everything changed. Have you ever planted your garden in July? Did it thrive or flop? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what's worked for you. Now, let's get into 12 vegetables that not only survive late planting, but truly thrive in it. Bush beans, honestly, they're the comeback kings. When everything else seems too late to sow, bush beans just jump right in. These fast growers germinate quickly in warm soil and they really don't mind that intense summer sun. I usually sow them directly into the soil, space them well for airflow, and keep the bed moist for the first few days. Within a week, they pop up fast, and in just under 2 months you'll be harvesting crisp pods by the handful. Radishes are speedy, reliable, and there are even heat-tolerant varieties. If you need a quick win in the garden, radishes are your best friend. The trick in July is to pick those heat-tolerant types and sow them in partial shade if you can. I often tuck radishes into the corners of my beds where taller plants cast those light afternoon shadows. Keep the soil loose, and within about 25 days, you're pulling out beautiful roots with a spicy crunch. Lettuce, yes, you still can grow it. I used to think lettuce couldn't survive July, but certain types, especially looseleaf or butterhead, can handle the heat if you sow them shallow and water consistently. Shading them during peak sun hours helps prevent bolting, and a compost-rich top layer keeps those roots cool. That honestly makes all the difference. Beets. Roots and greens in one, you know? Beets are surprisingly resilient. I've had great success planting them in July and honestly, harvesting baby roots in about 6 weeks. The bonus? Well, the greens are ready even sooner. You'll need a well-drained bed and, consistent moisture, especially during germination. They just love a compost-boosted soil and really they won't mind those long, hot days. Zucchini, the power producer. Zucchini doesn't care if it's July, it just wants sun and honestly a bit of space. Direct seed it into a fertile mulched bed and well, stand back. These plants grow aggressively and start producing fruit in 45 to 50 days. I've had second rounds of zucchini planted in July that actually outperformed my spring crop, especially when pests were less active in late summer. Turnips, fast roots for a fall harvest. Like radishes, turnips grow quickly and you know some varieties can go from seed to harvest in as little as 40 days. I plant them in July for a continuous harvest into early fall. The roots form better if the soil is loose and well aerated, and the greens are nice and tender if picked young. They're honestly one of the most underrated summer root crops. Green onions are just perfect for filling in those little gaps in your garden. If you've got open space where another crop failed, just toss in some green onion seeds. They really don't need much room and honestly they thrive in rich, consistently damp soil. I often sprinkle seeds along the borders of raised beds and they germinate super quickly with just a light compost cover. You'll find they're ready to snip in under 2 months. Mustard greens. These are heat-loving and fast-growing for sure. This is my go-to for leafy greens that don't mind hot weather at all. Mustard greens germinate fast and grow quickly, especially in partially shaded beds. Their sharp flavor is just awesome for stir-fries or salads, and they often regrow after cutting. Just keep them watered and mulched, and they'll really thrive through the summer heat. Swiss chard really brings both beauty and bounty to your garden. It can handle July heat better than most leafy vegetables, and it doesn't bolt easily. The leaves stay nice and tender, and honestly it looks stunning out there. I direct seed it into compost-rich soil and harvest outer leaves as needed. It's one of the longest producing greens I grow, easily lasting into fall with proper watering. Okra, born for heat. If you live in a warm region, okra is an absolute July champion. This plant really loves heat, thrives in tough soil, and produces steadily once it starts. I usually plant it directly in well-drained beds, water deeply once a week, and then just watch it take off. Okra grows tall, so give it space and full sun exposure. Malibar spinach, not your regular spinach. Malibar spinach isn't a true spinach, but it fills that leafy green role perfectly, and it loves summer. It climbs like a vine and produces thick, juicy leaves that stay tender in hot weather. I usually plant it near a trellis or a fence in water, often during the first few weeks. Once it establishes, it just keeps going. Yard-long beans, climbers with serious output. This Asian variety of pole bean just thrives in hot climates and, honestly, it grows super quickly when you plant it in July. With the right support and a bit of daily watering early on, yard-long beans start producing these long, crisp pods in under 2 months. I've had entire fences just covered in them by September. They're heat-loving, pest-resistant, and wow, are they productive. Final thoughts. Don't wait, plant now. If you're standing at your garden gate in July, kinda wondering if it's too late, the answer is absolutely not. The key is picking crops that really thrive in the heat and can mature quickly enough before your first frost. Every single vegetable on this list has been tested, grown, and harvested from midsummer sowings, and honestly, they deliver. Give it a try, plant a few, even just in containers, and watch how much food you can still grow before fall. And hey, if this guide helped spark some late-season planting motivation, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, share this video with your gardening friends, and come back next week for more Hydrohaven experiments in soil, compost, and all things green. Let's grow something great, no matter what the calendar says.